everybody. It is Tuesday, everyone's favorite day of the week. But before we get into the puppy, I want to ask, how are you, Lexy?
I'm fantastic.
Fantastic?
It's hard to do bad when you've got a little puppy right here.
But listen, we're always saying, tell us about the puppy. Tell us about the puppy. What about Lexy? How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Well, now you can tell us. Who is this that you're holding?
This is Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy.
He is 2 months old. He's the sweetest little puppy. He's got the cutest scruffy fur, sweet, soft, and snuggly, and he is going to make somebody very happy.
Very happy. And Jimmy also has a relationship with somebody else who was here not too long ago, right?
Yeah, so he's actually one of the siblings of the puppy I brought in last week, who is happily been adopted, but Jimmy is still here, and he does have a couple siblings still left at the shelter.
Oh, okay.
So they would definitely all love to go home so that they can start spending time getting snuggled on by somebody else. As much as our staff like doing it, I'm sure a new family could do a really great job.
I was going to say, Jimmy looks pretty comfortable with you, but of course, he can be just as comfortable with somebody else. Now, I want to ask you a silly question. What is a day in the life like of Jimmy Buffett here? What's it like kind of just having a pet? What goes on? Obviously, every pet is different. But what are some of those things and habits that we have to get used to when we're adopting a puppy?
Yeah, so I think that an ideal setup for Mr. Jimmy here, once he does go to a new home, is going to involve sleeping in, getting up, getting cuddles and breakfast, maybe going out on a walk or two, or lots of potty breaks. He is a puppy, so he's still going to be working on that house training, but lots of time spent sleeping throughout the day while he rests. Just like human babies, they do take some time to sleep, get up, eat, play, sleep again, all of that fun stuff.
Well, I want a day in the life like Jimmy rather than mine. He gets to sleep more than I do.
Absolutely. Being a puppy would be such a treat, especially one as cute as him.
Absolutely. Well, Lexy, I know you've adopted pets on your own. You see people come in and out of the shelter all the time, adopting puppies, kitties, everything. But something else that becomes part of our regular routine is kind of like that financial aspect. Now we have somebody else to feed in the house. What are some of those expenses and things that we don't always factor in before we decide to bring a puppy home?
Yeah, so I like to think there's a couple different ways that you should consider finances. There's going to be those daily costs, feeding the pet, making sure that they, full toys, of course, aren't daily purchase, but having access to toys, having access to waste bags if you're needing to go on a walk, the little things like that. Then there's the more infrequent costs. Medical care is generally going to be the biggest thing to consider. I know we talked a little bit about pet insurance, and that is definitely something that exists and you can look into. Or just having a general savings account that you put money away into, and that way if you do ever have any kind of emergencies come up, you have the ability to get Pup in, get him seen, and make sure that he gets the care that he would need.
That's right. Little things, big things, they all add up. But of course, if you plan for it, it makes the transition a lot easier. Now, I know you told us last week, but just remind us again, it is a little bit chilly outside for our pets. What are some precautions we should take? Yeah,
so he's a little guy, and he does have this good thick fur, but just making sure that you're not keeping him outside for too long, making sure that when we are outside, especially at this age that he's being supervised, if you're cold, he's going to be cold. He's got these little feet that we want to make sure we're keeping nice and warm. And if he is walking around anywhere that's going to be salted, making sure that we wipe those feet off so that they stay nice and clean. And that is the microphone, silly. I'm being very curious puppy.
Very curious, of course, and he can be yours today. Jimmy, I know you're going to find a home soon. Thank you so much, Lexy. But don't go anywhere just yet. We told you.